Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. We're here for another unboxing and this time we're doing Zombiecide Dead or Alive. This is the most recent Zombiecide edition coming out of Cool Mini or not being shipped right now. Of course there is that Marvel Zombies that is be coming in the future, which is pretty exciting, but this I believe is shipping right now to everybody, or it just has finished shipping. I'm excited to open all of these boxes and show you what's in here. Before I do, I would like to thank Colin at the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is his copy of Zombiecide Dead or Alive. I believe this is the full Steam version of the Kickstarter. So not only will we be unboxing the base game, we have our stretch goals, we even have Running Wild, which is one of the expansions. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to be looking at some Long Dead Walkers. We're also going to be taking a look at two different boxes here that is going to be adding Steampunks and Paleo Parente. I apologize if I say names wrong. I'm not very good at names. We have an Abomono Ape and a Crocosaurus that we're going to be unboxing. We have Deadstock's Abomination pack that is part of this extravaganza. I mean, it's Cool Mini or not. When you're doing Cool Mini or not, you get a whole ton of miniatures. On top of that, there's a whole another expansion here called Gears and Guns. So we're going to be looking at that, and our final thing we have is this small box here, which is going to be two miniatures and a survivor of Sister Temperance. Oh my gosh, this is going to be an absolute massive unboxing. I hope you have some time on your hands. Let's take a look at what's inside all these. We are going to start with the core box, and then we're going to go on from there. If you're excited to see what's inside the full Steam version of Zombiecide Dead or Alive, then I need you to meet me at the table. This is the core box for Zombies Undead or Alive. I might have called it Dead or Alive, but it's supposed to be Undead or Alive. I might have said it wrong earlier. If you've never played a Zombiecide game before, this is for 1 to 6 players. It is a dungeon crawler type game. Normally it is set in a one-shot type experience, but there are certain ones that do bring in a campaign type feel to this game. This is for 14 or older, and it takes about 1 hour for you to try to survive the zombie horde and complete the objectives that are part of your mission. And of course, if you've never played a Zombiecide game, I don't even know who you are. Oh, I do. It's me. I have never played a Zombiecide game before. I don't know how many people are probably shocked by that. I'll bet a lot of them, considering I am a huge fan of dungeon crawlers. But Colin is in the process of changing that. He's going to rectify that problem because he's been collecting some of the Zombiecides, and we're going to start playing some of those on my channel live during our live playthroughs that we do on Monday together with me and Colin. So if you're interested in seeing Zombiecide in the future on this channel, please check it out. This though is going to be played over on the One Stop Co-op Shop. Colin is going to do a playthrough of Zombiecide Undead or Alive coming up in the future. So let's take a look and see what's in here. We have a free get it here type thingy. And then here is our rule book and mission book. Now I believe half of this is going to be the rules and the other half is going to be the missions is my guess. Let's see, rules, and the missions are probably going to be eventually down here at the end here. Yes, here we go. Let me start with the missions over here. So here our rules are about, oh, it looks like 43 pages of rules. And then we have our missions that start here. And I don't want to spoil too much of the mission stuff, so we're going to put that aside. But there are a lot of rules. And every time they bring out a new Zombiecide game, they add some type of element to it that is unique to the actual game that it's, or I should say theme that it's around. For example, this one is the Wild West, and it looks like they're going to be having potentially a railroad type concept coming through here where you can get on and off trains and things like that, or you might have to stop a zombie invasion on a train, which would be kind of cool. So we'll dig through this and see what this is all about. Though the core mechanics of Zombiecide, I believe, are going to remain the same throughout most of the different Zombiecides that have come out already. So we'll set this aside and continue on. It wouldn't be a Zombiecide game without a bunch of miniatures, and that is what we have right here. We have our complete miniatures set, so we'll pull these off and see what we have. Oh my gosh, we got everything in here. This is going to be absolutely bonkers awesome. So over the course of the way Zombiecide has come to be, they have upgraded these player boards to be fully, I guess they're all plastic now, and they have little slots and sliders on them to be able to help you with when it comes to the amount of experience you have, and also can track all the different hit points and ammo and things of that you have. Either are different character cards for for each person. And it looks like there's going to be, I'm going to guess 4, maybe 6 boards in here. There is 6 boards in here. So like I said, it can be played up to 6 players. We have all the different miniatures and the cards associated with those miniatures. We even have here a Bowler Hat Abomination. He comes out. This is Zombiecide, so there are a ton of miniatures, and there's a lot of player characters. If we look up at the top here, these are all considered player characters that you can play in the game, of course, except for the Gatling gun. You can't be a Gatling gun. And these all kind of have, in theory, a tie to something in the theme that it's in most of the time. There are some that are outliers, but a lot of them do kind of work with other things that have been in pop cultures, which is really kind of a neat feature that they do. Here are some of the cards that come in this game. Now, I apologize right now. This theme is probably one I know the least about. So any correlation with the actual characters and in their real life type counterparts or fictional counterparts, I may not know them all, and I apologize. So each one does kind of have a class type thing going for it. So it might be, so they're going to have a thing they're kind of better at than most of the other people. For example, Carl here is a brawler, and it's going to show you all the different things they're going to gain as they gain experience points and what they're able to do. We have all, oh my gosh, who's this? Conception. That's awesome. We have Hannah. We've got Henry. Looks like a prostecular. He's a brawler. He's got this big giant thing here. We have Jeb. We have Jimmy. We have Casey. That's awesome. There's Casey Jones. I don't know. We have May. We have Meg. And let's see here. Molly. Pablito. I apologize for saying these wrong. Thomas. Trixie and Turner, and there's just so many, and this is just the core game. This is all the characters that are coming in just the core game. Can you believe it? And then on top of that, their miniatures are up here. For example, I think this was that prospector guy we were looking at earlier. They do a pretty good job of making some nice looking miniatures, and they have an absolute ton of them as well. So painting these can be an absolute monumental task, and for those of you that don't know, I do like to paint up all of my games so that they're ready to go. But in a certain game like this, to get it quickly to the table, this one I would only maybe paint the hero miniatures and just have to work with these guys as is. And then these, I believe, are going to be all of our little zombie creatures that are going to be running around trying to get us. They have 2 different types of them here. And we have their spawn cards, and some of the other cards are going to be found in here. Let's quick take a look. The first set of cards we have are starter cards based on our particular character. We have an old timer, we've got frying pans, and we've got the Springfield weapon right here. And of course, all the stats that go along with it are here, and if whether they need ammunition are up here. For example, the pan does not need ammunition, but the other 2 guns, of course, are going to need some ammunition. The next thing we have these 2 cards, the wagon and the Gatling gun. These are going to be potential machines that could be part of these scenarios, or maybe you can bring them out as you play through the scenario. The next thing we have is some of our classic equipment that you're going to be gaining throughout the game. It's just going to be upgrades to some of the stuff you've already had potentially in your inventory. So for example, Colt, we get some dynamite, some holy water, we get some knives, plenty of bullets. I love plenty of bullets. That'll help in Zombiecide. Look more, plenty of shells. Those are going to be for shotguns, I'm sure. I think I guarantee you there's shotguns. Here we go, a sawed-off shotgun. Notice it has a different type of bullet, which is why you're going to need the plenty of shells. You may re-roll all attacks with shotgun-type weapons. The new result takes place over the previous one, maybe used in place of backpack. That's awesome. And we have like tomahawks. These are all going to be drawn potentially as we play through the game. Now the interesting thing is this game now comes with what are called bounty weapons. These are new. These are going to be whatever you have to perform what it shows on the bottom of this card during your adventure here in order to gain access to this particular bounty weapon. So if you're able to do what it says here, then you would gain this bounty weapon from how I understand how it works. And this is going to be an absolutely probably way better gun than anybody probably has. It has no fanning. That's pretty good. And for example, if we were able to defeat an abomination with your last action, then you get this katana type thing here. You get a heavy saber, I guess is what you could call it. So this is a really cool new element that came to this game. The next deck of cards are going to be the spawn cards, and based on what your highest level character is the amount they're going to spawn in. So it's a very tactical game where it comes to the idea of not having everybody, one person just jump out and become super explosive. You want to kind of keep everybody in the same type of area when it comes to leveling up, but it does have all the different kinds, the brutes, the walkers, the runners, and it even has some of the abominations. And of course we have our Brawler Hat Abomination as well. And as you can see, not only do they have those type of cards on what's going to spawn, but they also in the back here have some cards that have to do with extra activations where things are just going to activate instead of actually spawn in. So those are all the cards that come with this game. We'll put them back, and we'll put these back as well. Now, of course, there is some more stuff on the bottom here, so let's take a look at what we have. We do have, what's this, dynamite? We have dynamite. That's pretty awesome. It is the Wild West. We have these we can put on our characters if you wish to, and then we have dice that are, oh, look at this, they're set in the world with like actual playing cards on them. That is awesome. They have playing cards. I wonder if that's actually going to make a difference in the game or not. We have underneath here more zombies. Now, I believe these are all going to be walker zombies, and there's 4 different types of sculpts for each of these walkers, so we'll have to maybe work on look how many monsters there are. I don't know how you'd ever be able to get a chance to paint all this up. If you do, that's fantastic. I'm very proud of you. We have some of our brute miniatures back here. There's a couple different kinds of brutes. These are the brutes right here. One of them, what is this guy carrying? It looks like he's carrying a giant stick on the back, or not, sorry, a pole or something on the back of him. That's pretty awesome. We'll put those back like that. And then I think the other ones, these must be our runners. These ones that are this color are runners. So at least they're in 2 different types of colored mold, so that if you can tell them apart on the board as you're playing the game. I think that is everything that is part of this game. So we're going to pack this up, and we're going to move on to our next expansion. But before we do, I forgot there's a bunch of punch boards. On the bottom, there's punch boards. Oh, look at this. They've got like, they've all the punch boards here, and it looks like they even have like a train that's going to be going on. This is going to be awesome. All right, let's take a look at all these punch boards. The first one we have here is going to be it's all the different things that have to do with our spawning of our monsters. We have our first player tokens. These are objective tokens. We have the carriage down here, our first player token, and we have a sound token as well, in case there's a lot of sound in a certain spot that might alert where the zombies are going to go. I'm not sure what those 2 tokens are, but they might have something to do with the game. They are dual-sided, so you can maybe close some of the spawn points, or you just don't open them until a certain part through the game. The objective tokens, of course, there's a lot of X's, but you might find the right one is I'm guessing, your deal here. And each one of these tiles are double-sided, so there's a lot of really cool art going along with this game. I'm going to pull this out of here so I can actually get this tile out. Seriously? All right, there we go, just like that. Perfect. And I'm really impressed with the art on these. Look at this. These look absolutely phenomenal. Oh, there's a dead horse. That's no good. That's a horse is a horse, of course, unless it's dead. Then we've got these train. This is going to be super cool. You can either fight on a train, I believe, or look at this. You can even have a railroad come through the middle of town as you're playing through the game. I think that's going to be absolutely awesome to see that happen. Now, of course, all these, like I said, are double-sided, and they have different things going on. This is really cool. I've never really been big on the Western theme, but I think this is really going to make a neat-looking town once you get everything all hooked together. For example, because it kind of looks like you're walking through the main street of town. Look, here's a saloon. You're walking through the saloon here, and these could all kind of work together here and make up a big, giant house, or it could be just one like room or one house in the thing here. I don't know what this would possibly be, but it looks pretty awesome. And then we have things on the back. These are, oh wow, these tiles look really cool. I'm really excited for this. This looks really neat. I'm pretty pumped. I've, like I said, never played a Zombiecide game, but this one looks like it has a lot of really cool things going for it. So we'll have to put all this back. Now we're going to put all this back in here, and we'll go on to our next expansion. This is going to be our stretch goals box. I don't think there's going to be anything but miniatures in here, but we'll see what we found. We do have, oh, you have new abominations, and so it does have the rules for some of the, oh my gosh, look at this. It has all these rules for all these amazing creatures and things you're probably going to find inside. Oh, look, a Wendigo. Oh my goodness, this looks really cool. I'm excited to try this. Oh, teacher still condescending even in death. Condescending. Okay, so I wonder if this is just a lore or if this is actually going to have gameplay effects as you play through the game. I think it's probably just going to have lore, unless let's read right here. It says, the soldier is every bit as lethal as his rifle, as any gunslinger, and is in no less fearsome in close combat. When activated, the soldier can attack survivors range 0 to 2. When attacking his own zone, he deals 2 wounds. So they are going to have gameplay elements as well, even though they're all these neat new zombies. Oh my gosh, and look at all these. These are all characters. These are all characters that you can be in this game. Out of control. Look at this. There is a ton of them. And on the bottom, look at these miniatures. Oh wow, this is going to be really super cool. I'm going to go through all these really quick. The first thing we have are these alternate miniatures, I believe, are going to be used for those, like I read that lore thing about the guy with the gun, that he's able to use that. So these, I believe, are going to be alternate ones for walkers and things of that nature. On top of that, it's going to be able to, you're going to be able to substitute these for some of those other walkers and runners and things. And the interesting, cool thing about this, they put the numbers on the bottom of these miniatures, so you know exactly where to put them back when you get to this. Now on the flip side, check these out. These are out of control. I almost dropped them on the ground. This is super cool. Look at this guy. This is out of control. Wow, that is an amazing sculpt. And of course, the cards are all in here. So you can add these to your Zombiecide game. They've got a Pus Bag Abomination, a Fat Mace Abomination. Where are these? Oh, here's the Fat Mace Abomination. He's right here with this big giant mace that he has. They've got, what is this? The Gore Geyser person here. I'm not sure where that one is. Not the end of the world. We have an Alpha Bane. I think it's going to be one of this wolf right here. Look at this wolf guy. Out of control. He's got hair and he's got gook and he's got awesome all over him. We've got Rotten Claw miniature. Maybe that's this one right here. It might be the Rotten Claw. Of course, like I said, I'm not exactly sure what all these are, but he's got a huge giant claw. I don't see why it wouldn't be him. Each one of these does have its own abilities right here. So like when it activates, it can actually reach in their zone because his claws are out of control. With the Plymouth Hound. Here's that Wendigo miniature. That must be this one right here. This is the Wendigo. Look at this thing. Roar. Look at that arm is coming out for you. This thing looks amazing. Oh, that's definitely being added to the game when I play it. Let's see what else. We have a Swamp Tongue, which is probably up here. Then we have the Death Grasp one. I'm not sure where he must be. This guy, he's got lots of, or that could be the Claw, and this could be the Grasp one up there. I think this is the Grasping one, the Death Grasp one. We have a Melting Pot Abomination, which is right here. We have the Lil Trickster one, and the Great Trickster, and the Cactus Queen, which is right here. Now, the interesting thing about that guy, or not the Cactus Queen, but one of the Trickster ones, is you can put on the different heads to symbolize which one it's going to be. And then you just put it in there. Maybe, hopefully it goes right in there. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's going to fit right in there eventually. I can figure it out, just like that. And then he's going to be, that would be one of them, or you could take that head off. You could have the eagle head, and I'm sure that each, depending on what head it has, maybe it has a different set of powers or something that it's going to be able to do. That's pretty cool. Just, there is a little tab in there. It just kind of fits right into the tab. And there you go. You've got your eagle character there or whatever, and the wolf character as well. This guy's super cool. I love that concept a lot. And those are the cards for each one of these. And then there's a special weapon for, I believe, one of the player characters that that are found inside here. So let's quickly look at all the characters as well. So we'll move this to the side, hopefully without dropping it on the ground. And then, oh my gosh, there's so many characters. I'm not going to probably be able to take all these characters out. Here is all of the different player characters that come in this expansion box. It's out of control. This is almost, I would say almost about 100 guys here. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. Oh my gosh, 14 times what? Or 7 times 5 is 35. About 50. Almost close to 50 guys in here. And here's all the different cards. Now again, like I said, I don't know who each one of these is based on potential pop cultures and rooted in history. But let's go through them. We got Grayson. We got Reigns. And of course, each person has a little thing on the side here that you can put something in. They also have a special ability that, of course, is explained on the back side of their characters. That's one thing Cool Mini or Not does a really good job of being able to get games to the table fairly fast and with some pretty easy rules that allow you to still have a ton of fun. This one is another character. We're just going to go through these. Sister Grace. We've got Preacher Paul, Father Winston. I wonder if he's based off the Winston rifle. I'm not sure. Father Luke. We have Father Luke here. We got Tilly. We've got Professor Fletcher. We got, well, I know this person, Billy the Kid. We've got Butch Cassidy. We've got Hank. Doc Holliday, I know that person. I'll be your Huckleberry. Let's see who else we have. Jesse James, I've heard of these people. Wild Bill Hickok, hopefully he's not holding aces and eights when he's playing the game. Sheriff Earp, which I'm guessing is Wyatt Earp would be my guess. Weezer, we have Charles. We have Mika. And again, some of you may know these people. I do not know all of these. The nameless. We have Woods. We have Miguel. And again, a lot of these kind of fall in the same type of characters where it's not too many different types of characters, but the abilities that they get on the side and some of the extra things they can hold is going to be the difference in some of these characters. For example, this one has a brawler where, let's see if we find another brawler. Look, here's another brawler right here. This person has completely different abilities for the most part than this character, which is kind of cool how they do that. We have Wolfie, April, Rusty, Maybell. That's kind of awesome. Look at that. She's carrying this thing. That would be an awesome character to play. We have Garth. I wonder if that's Garth Brooks. We have Rob. We have Ginny. We have Clint. Maybe Clint Eastwood. We have Hobbs. We have Lith. We have Martin. I don't think I know Martin. Earl. Vina. I like how they have a super big mixture of male and female characters as well, so you can play with whatever type you want. Benji. We have Bloody Mary. That's pretty awesome. Ruby. And we have Trips. I mean, this just keeps on going. Connie and Kristoff and the Judge. Look at this, the Judge right there. He's got an ability called Lifesaver. We have Sheriff Mittens. Sheriff Mittens has 2 abilities right off the bat. That's fantastic. It's a home defender. We have this character. More. Here we go. keep on going. Oh my gosh, look at all these people. Dee's Wood. All right, Dee's bow. Oh, I think this is the person that has that bow that we saw just a little while ago in the card situation here. Here it is. It says right here, so if I ever draw this card, I'm able to, and I have this character, that'd be really tough to actually have happen, but you'd be able to get those cool things to happen. Wait, why are there 2 of this character? I'll have to check it out. But there we go. That is all the characters. That's all I say. There's an absolute massive amount of characters. So this is cool. With the amount of replay value, just the characters alone, I think you could play this game hundreds of times and never have the same character. Of course, you are going to see some of the abilities eventually kind of overlap, I'm sure. Very similar to, what would you call it, the Cthulhu Death May Die type series, where someone probably has some really cool main abilities, but a lot of the other abilities might kind of flow over onto some of the other characters, not giving every character completely unique feel, but it gives them enough unique feel to want to try to play multiple different types of characters. And that's the end of this expansion. There's nothing else to show. Let's go to the next box. This next expansion is called Gears and Guns. This one I think is going to be kind of cool. This introduces like a steampunk type variation to the game where you're going to have to deal with a resource called, I believe, steam, and then you're going to have to, oh wow, look at this, steam shoots and everything. And based on that, it's going to be able to keep your weapons moving and your abilities going, but otherwise if you run out, then I think you're going to be in pretty big trouble here. It does come with a decent sized rulebook with some, I believe they're going to have, some missions in here as well. Yep, they do have missions in here as well. So again, a huge, bigger expansion to the Zombiecide Undead or Alive expansion. It does come with our characters, a steam monster, which would be kind of cool. So let's quickly take a look at what is in this box and see what we find. Of course, we start with our punch board here that does have a steam gauge and also multiple spawn token zones based on, I think these are the spawn zones for the monsters, I believe. They're coming out of the steam. They have different switches, and of course you'll put this all together. Well, here's a spawn zone right here. I'm sorry, it only comes with one spawn zone. Then these are the steam jets, and you can turn them on and off based on these switches right here, as I'm going to guess how this is going to work. It looks like you can actually make survivors. You have a campaign sheet. Well, this is going to be a campaign. This is awesome. I'm a huge fan of campaigns. This is going to be right up my alley. This is a campaign sheet. It's going to keep track of how things are going through each of your different missions here, I believe. And then we have our punch boards. Let's take a look at those. These are the double-sided punch boards for this particular expansion, and of course, like I said, they'll be able to go together in different ways to form different areas of the map. And like I said, this will have more of a steampunk type variation. Look, it has a distillery in there, I believe it is. Oh my gosh, that's out of control. Then we have look at this, a mine car kind of coming in with some steam on it. Oh, again, these are going to be those switches, so I'm sure those switches are going to be out on this map, and you can be able to turn them on and off and maybe damage some of the monsters, or potentially yourself if they probably get hit, which would probably be Bad News City. We'll see how it all transpires here as we get through the game. We have a laundry, which is kind of funny. We'll put those aside and continue on. Here are all of our characters, and we have a mess of cards we'll have to dig through. It has its own set of dice. This is going to be the thing that puts our steam gauge together, and it has a set of cards as well. These smaller cards come with only one spawn card because you do actually need the core game in order to actually play the game. So just be aware that this isn't just a standalone thing. You do have to have the core game because you need all the other spawn cards and things like that. These are some of the new weapons and things you can gain. For example, we do have, again, some of those bounty weapons back here, which if, of course, you're able to do this, kill 3 zombies or more with a single fanning, you can then gain a hold of this if that's part of if that was available to you at the time. And down here it shows this little symbol here. That's going to be part of this expansion. It has to do with Steam and how much you use in order to be able to activate this particular thing. I think you need, if you want to do this, you'd have to pay the 1 Steam, or if you pay the 1 Steam, that becomes active at this time. I have to look through exactly to see how this all works, and a lot of these cards are going to be similar to that. If we look through some of these, we have like a chainsaw here that, depending on what you roll and how much Steam you use, I think certain things are going to be activated for you. Dynamite, oh boy, more dynamite. We have the machete that is a steam machete, I guess. That's kind of interesting. We have plenty of bullets still. We have lots of those. We have, again, some of the guns, new guns for this, which can be pretty sweet. So from what I understand, looking at here, it still seems like you could use some of these weapons. They're just not going to be as effective without having Steam. Then we have some ability to invent things, and I think that's because there is a new character in this specific expansion, and that's the engineer. We have Anthony right here, a brawler. We have Bonnie. We have Thaddeus. We have Gene. So here we go. Here's the engineer. So the new type of class that comes in. It has a ability back here that once per turn you may spend one action and deplete or a steam weapon from your inventory to refill another steam weapon of your inventory. Full steam plus 1 combat die. Well, that's pretty good. So it has nothing to do with crafting. I thought it might because that's the it's a new character. But we have Lee. We have Leonard here, which is also an engineer. We have Marlene, which is an engineer. Nicholas is an engineer, which makes sense. Richard is a brawler. It makes a lot of sense. You have a lot of new engineers in this because that's the type of class. And of course we have our miniatures up here. Look at this guy. He's got a chainsaw. I'm just going to hold these up. I'm not even going to hold them up. You can see them from there. We have some really cool looking people. Look at this one. This one's covered in steam. That's pretty awesome that she has all that around here. Here's that new brawler. And these are the steam dice. They're a new die system for this particular expansion. They're going to be used in there. So I'd love to see how exactly inventions work. I'm not exactly sure, but that's okay. Then on top of that, we have all of these. These are objective cards. Normally in the Zombiecide game, you had those objective tokens. If you complete your objective, you win the game. When you're playing the campaign, though, you're going to be setting out objective cards. I'm not going to show you any of these because I don't want to spoil any of the potential people that are interested in playing the campaign version of this game, but you're going to place these out on the maps based on, I believe, what's down here. So 10 VR, 18 VR, that potentially could have this particular, objective card on it. These large crates are going to be found in these two areas here. So when you're playing your campaign, you're going to place these down on the map in certain places. So if we had 16V, we might have to place it. It would show us on the map where to place it, maybe in this room, maybe in this room. It'll show us when we set up the game. So that's pretty cool how they have that system going for us as well. So that is what is in our gears and guns. This one I think is pretty cool, especially since it has that campaign. I'm a huge campaign person, so this would be a ton of fun to play. Next we have Running Wild, which is yet again another expansion, which is going to give us some horses for this. Why not have some? It's the Wild West. You need some horses. You need a horse chase. Look at this. We got a template of horses. That's amazing. And then there's going to be some rules that have to go with how to use a horse and what you're going to be doing with the horse. I'm sure there's even going to be some missions that have to do with horses. And why not? We've got some characters that are probably on the horses. And we even have a Nightmare Horse Abomination. Oh, that's fantastic, which is right down here. Let's see what we can see when it comes to this expansion. Here we are. Just wanted to show you some of the horse miniatures and of course their counterparts as well. So let's dig in and see. First let's look at the character cards, then we can match them up with our horses. It looks like we have Roberto, which is a a brawler class. So there's no new class I don't think coming in this. Abby, we have Mitchell, we have Amelia, we have Ollie, and we have Tyler. So we do not have any new class characters here, but then they do not only have the character, for example, here I believe is Roberto, he's right here. He's the brawler character. He comes with his normal miniature, and he has, of course, his horse miniature as well that he can go riding off into the sunset. Why not ride off into the sunset? Check this guy. He's got a flowing cape behind him. That's pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of that miniature. I'm sure he is right here as the normal character because he's got that mask and the flowing cape as well. So this is going to be like I said, there's a whole story, or not story, but rules about how to use the riding mounts and the new skills for the riding ability. There must be a skill on here called Rider. Yep, here it is, Rider, +1 free melee action. This one has a +1 to dice rolls. So these guys are all going to have their Rider abilities. So it's not necessarily a class, but they do get a new skill that comes with this. So that's the expansion for, which one is this? This is the Running Wild expansion. We'll stick this all back into the box. Of course, we have our Abomination that we can add to the game. We'll put this here, and we have our little horses all right there. Fantastic. That is all boxed up and ready to put back. Now let's move on to something else. We have two sets of boxes here. We have the steampunk extras, and then we have the special guest, Paulo Parente. I think I said that right. And they have a whole bunch of more survivors that you can get to be able to play with in this game. Here are the characters that are found in our steampunk one. We have Lord Forsaken, and there's even a card for potentially getting his chair out there, from what I understand. Looks like the Doom chair or something. Not exactly sure what it all does here. But he starts with a steam chair. Sorry, not a Doom chair, steam chair, Doom chair. What am I talking about? So he does start with a steam chair out there, which is pretty neat. We have Violet. We have Calvin. Okay, we have Doc Umber. Wait, does this do? I think it starts with a steam drift. No way. Is this Marty McFly with his like hoverboard? No way. Is that really what that is? He's right here. He's got his hoverboard. That's pretty awesome. Because remember, I don't know if it is that. It's because of the if I remember right, his underwear is Calvin Klein's underwear, and so that's why he was called Calvin when he was in the. Oh my! Yes, it is. Oh, it is. It is Marty McFly, because we have Doc Umber, which of course is probably the Doc from the actual game. That's amazing. We have Snake Eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so these are the references I am getting, which is pretty awesome. This is from the Three Amigos. That is absolutely amazing. I totally want to play with that guy. They've got all three of this particular Three Amigos. No way. That's pretty awesome. Oh, they only have two of them. Where's the last one? Maybe he's in here. Old Cuss. He's got Zayo. We've got Dottie. Now, of course, I don't know the references to those. I apologize. This might be from the Will Smith movie. I might be wrong. I'm not exactly sure, but oh my gosh, they've got the two people from that. And they only got two of the Three Amigos. I wish they had all three. That would have been awesome. I'd have loved to play with all three of the Three Amigos. That is absolutely amazing that they're in there. And what are they? They are gunslingers, of course. There is some engineers in here since this is the steampunk expansion. So, oh my gosh, let's see if we can find these people. So here's the Doom Chairperson. Here's one of the Three Amigos. That's absolutely awesome. There's that. These are the two from Back to the Future. I guess I could try to hold these up for you. There's the Back to the Future characters right there. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. There's the Three Amigos character back there. Now, of course, the other references, I apologize. I'm sure they're all pop culture references. I just don't get all of them. That's too bad. Let's look at the next one. Here we have Lucan. We have Madison, Lilia, Sable. We have Coulson, Mr. Gray. We have Marcy, Zeb, and who's this? Sheriff Hale. Those are the characters in this one. I apologize. I don't actually know too many. I can't figure out who those possibly could be. I'm not sure. Maybe from some other movie of some kind. I don't like it. The theme for me is not. This is not my strongest theme. But we do have all the different characters that are here as well. So that's pretty awesome. Those are the two expansions here for Undead or Alive. Again, more characters. We just gained 18 more characters that we can play with. And of course, some of them are pretty awesome, like being able to play with the Back to the Future characters. That's awesome. From what I can understand, the final player character that I'm going to be able to show you is Sister Temperance here. It comes with a card. She does have her rider ability. She is a riding character, and she has the abilities for that on the back. And here's the two miniatures that go along with it. This is when she's not in rider mode. She has a cool looking shotgun. And when she's in rider mode, looks like she's riding a donkey, which is pretty sweet. And that's that. I mean, that one's pretty quick, but there you go. That's her. I have a few enemy packs, so we'll check out those as well. We have the Long Dead Walkers, which comes with 15 miniatures and a rule card for them. So these are the rules for this particular encounter. And it has their spawn cards here along with all of the different miniatures. The spawn cards are all the same. They're the long walkers, and I think there's even going to be, I don't think there's anything different about this. Oh, there are some of the numbers are a little bit different on some of these. So these are, you'd add to the game if you're interested in adding these miniatures to your game. And from what I understand, I don't know if it's true of all the zombies, but it does say that it looks like one of the special things is that these are immune to ranged attacks from what it looks like. Maybe because they're not actually zombies, they're more skeletons, so I'm guessing the bullets are going right through them, which makes total sense. So that is the Long Dead Walkers expansion. I believe that's why it's called that, is because they're long dead and they can't be attacked by ranged weapons, which is kind of neat. So we'll put that all together, and it says right down here, Long Dead Walkers are immune to ranged actions. They still suffer the effects of eliminating all zombies in a zone, like dynamite or something of that nature, but because they're actually long dead, they're immune to range. That's kind of neat. Let's check out our next one. The next one is the Abomination pack. It has 4 miniatures and 4 cards, and then of course some rules. But for each of the different abominations, they're all going to have their own special rules that have to go along with them. So the cool thing is you can bring all these into the game. But remember, that means there's going to be a lot more things you have to remember when it comes to these types of characters. It looks like all these have to do with, well, there's bulls and bears. I'm just going to kind of hold these up. We got 3 different, looks like bull creatures here. It looks like a woolly man, or not a woolly man, sorry, a buffalo, looks like just a, I don't even know what that is. And then just a bison, another like kind of bull up here. And then we have a bear as well. So those are the 4 miniatures that go along with this. And then of course we have all the cards that go along with it as well that are found right here. And these are just going to be the spawn cards that go along with it. That's really all I'm going to show. I hope that that's okay with you. But I think you get the idea that you're just adding more and more content to this game, which is really neat because you can add all this in. And of course some of these might be more difficult than the actual abominations from the game, making the game even more difficult for you as well. This is, I think, our last box we have. This is the Abominape and the Crocosaurus Abomination Pack. So again, yet again, more abominations. Here's the 2 spawn cards, and here are the rules that go along with these 2 particular ones. They have special rules, dynamite and rolling dice and things like that. So it's cool that they have all these extra things you can do. And here are the miniatures, absolutely bonkers amazing. Look at this guy, this gorilla, and then we have a crocodile. Super cool that they're adding all this to the game. Again, that's all. I'm not going to pull them all out. I think you get the idea. If you want to pick some of these up, please go ahead and check out their website. I'm sure they might be available, or you might be able to find out on there. You can get a late pledge on this, I'm not sure. But that's the Abominape and the Crocosaurus. And that brings us to the end of our unboxing of Zombiecide Undead or Alive. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when more content comes out. Zombiecide will be hitting my channel at some point, I guarantee it. But right now, I have to send this game back to Colin so that he can do a playthrough on One Stop Co-op Shop. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out the link to my Patreon. It is found in the description of this video. Some of the things that Patreon members are able to do is choose what characters we would use in a game like this. Also, you can help me decide what abominations would end up in a game like this. So they get a lot of say into how the games come out on the channel. On top of that, they also get to help choose what type of games come out on the channel, and they're able to help me decide what we're going to be painting in some of our live painting videos that we do once a week, along with our live play that we do with Colin from the One Stop Co-op Shop every Monday at this point in time. Those that have already helped support the channel are found here. Thank you so much for your support. It really makes this channel what it is today. If you're interested in seeing more content on Undead or Alive, please, like I said, go check out the One Stop Co-op Shop. Colin will be doing a playthrough over there. And then I might be hijacking this game. I might go in there, guns blazing, and hijack this back and rob it from his house. I probably won't rob it from his house, but I might be able to get a copy of this back over here, and I'll be able to do a playthrough as well, because this game does look super fun, and I've never played a Zombiecide game, which is super... I don't even know why not. I should totally have played a Zombiecide game by now. I don't know why I haven't, because this game is totally right up my alley. Again, thank you so much for watching, and if you're excited to see what comes next, then I need you to meet me at the table.